We are getting the wall done, but I've had so many people, good people, great people, they'd rather not do it before, they'd rather do it right after the election. They don't want to do anything to upset the apple cart. And my inclination, if it was up to me, I'd shut down government over border security. Most likely, I will not do that, but we're going to do it immediately after the election.
That was President Trump at a rally in Montana this past Thursday. The question now is, will he or won't he partially shut down the government to get the funding for the wall on the southern border? Federal funding runs out on September 30th, with lawmakers looking to pass a majority of the 2019 spending bills before that deadline. Joining me right now is the House Majority Leader, Kevin McCarthy. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, thanks for having me on your show again.
Will we get the funding for the border wall? Can you walk us through the priorities for this upcoming September 30th deadline?
Yes, September 30th is the funding of all of government, so you have the 12 appropriation bills. I'm one of the conservatives that not only want the wall, but are fighting for the wall. And one thing that your viewers have to understand, we are building the wall right now in the southern portions, in California and in New Mexico, but we have to finish the job. Just as you listen to Senator Graham, one of our biggest challenges, not in the House, but in the Senate, it takes 60 votes. Now, I disagree with having to have 60 votes to pass it, but that is why the president is out campaigning in these states like Montana, West Virginia, North Dakota. We need a few more Republicans in so we can finish the entire part of the wall. I was with the president in the Roosevelt Room this week talking about our strategy and our plan to make sure that wall gets built. It will get built. It's being built now, but we want to finish it sooner.
And you've been campaigning a lot as well. You've been crisscrossing the country. You're on to Pennsylvania tomorrow supporting Republican candidates. What kind of a reception are you getting out there?
You know, we're getting a very big reception because it's really about results versus Pelosi's resistance. Think about the numbers you see time and again on your show. Wages are going up. 4 million new jobs have been created since this election. What this tax bill has been able to do to individuals. We just looked at the new factory report coming in, the manufacturing. Made in America is back in America. This is different, and it's one of the best economies we've had in more than 50 years, but it's not leaving anybody behind. If you just have a high school degree, it's one of the best unemployment. African American, Hispanic, women, the very best. I mean, only 9 months in the last 49 years has unemployment been below 4%, and 4 of those months have been in this year. This is an unbelievable economy because of what this president has been able to achieve, not even counting what we've done with the VA, or made you safer with our battles against opioids, or the military being stronger. And then you just heard the report from North Korea has changed. We are safer today, not only in our economy, in our jobs, and in our schools, but around the world because of this majority working with this president.
Well, it's interesting. You mentioned a lot of good things on the economy. Just Friday, we got very strong jobs numbers, 201,000 jobs added to the economy in the month of August, with wages up 0.4%. And yet there's a new element on the campaign trail right now, and that is President Obama. President Obama is looking at those results and basically saying that's attributable to him. Listen to this.
When you hear how great the economy is doing right now, let's just remember when this recovery started. I mean, I'm glad it's continued, but when you hear about this economic miracle that's been going on, when the job numbers come out, monthly job numbers, and suddenly Republicans are saying it's a miracle, I have to kind of remind them, actually, those job numbers are the same as they were in 2015, in 2016, and...
Your reaction, Congressman?
Just not true. Do you know he had 8 years to try to solve this economy, and his highest growth year is still less than the worst year under Bill Clinton? President Trump's economy has grown 40% faster. President Trump has had less than 2 years, and he brought us to the best economy we have seen. I saw that joke on the internet. He's like the guy trying to open the jar. He can't. He hands it to President Trump. President Trump opens the jar, and he said, "I loosened it for you." It's just unbelievable what he's coming back. And the idea that he doesn't take the respect of past presidents, you never saw George Bush going out talking in a campaign. He let somebody be president. And for the idea to criticize an economy that's created 4 million new jobs, an a president that has brought North Korea to the table, where no longer do they have the parade of missiles. The idea that we have changed the VA where the GI Bill is not 15 years and you lose it, it's now for a lifetime. And we gave the military a raise. And wages are now going up. That didn't happen under Obama, but we proved that this president kept promising.
I seem to remember businesses sitting on cash because of the regulatory environment, and this president and this Congress has loosened up restrictions, certainly, and the regulations have come down, enabling businesses to put money to work again. But still, we're looking at probably the most consequential midterm elections that we've seen in our lifetime. Even the president talked about the potential for impeachment on the campaign trail this weekend. Here's what he said over the weekend. Listen to this, Congressman.
It's so ridiculous. But don't worry about that if it ever happens. But if it does happen, it's your fault because you didn't go out to vote. Okay? You didn't go out to vote. You didn't go out to vote. That's the only way it can happen. I'll be the only president in history. They'll say, what a job he's done. By the way, we're impeaching him.
How sure are you that you'll be able to hold on to the majority so that doesn't happen? Obviously, the left wants this president impeached, Congressman.
Not only do they want him impeached, they forced the vote twice already in Congress in this session. Listen, history is against us, but the last time an administration in an off year had growth of 6 consecutive quarters and GDP over 4%, they didn't lose seats. They broke the trend and actually gained seats. And we have a number of retirements. So we're in a fight, and the president's right. You have to get out and vote, because there's 3 things that the Democrats want to do. They want to abolish ICE. They've already proposed it and voted on it. They want to impeach the president, which they voted on twice. And then to listen to what Barack Obama said he wants to have happen and what Democrats are co-sponsoring. They want government-run health care. And you talk about taxes today. If you doubled all the taxes people pay for right now, they couldn't pay for the cost of what this would be. 55% of Americans get their insurance from private, from their companies. You could no longer have that.
Right.
The veterans in the VA would no longer have the VA. That is their agenda.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Results versus resistance.
And yet they are pushing back aggressively. Even the New York Times is on board. We're going to get to that op-ed from the New York Times. And your response, you wrote a response op-ed, more from House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy.